What's good, everybody? This your boy D Money. We on another episode of the A Lot of Fashion podcast, and what we primarily talk about here on the podcast is everything business, whether it be the industry or everything business. But make sure that you hit that like button, make sure that you subscribe, and make sure that you share with your family and friends everything that we talk about here and on our other episodes. And make sure you binge watch those other episodes because they're very pivotal information that can help you change the growth of your brand, your business, and goals. So make sure you tap in. Now, what we've been talking about on this season and, this latest series is building a product from nothing, mainly a physical product. And, you know, we're going to get right into it. So the power of building a personal brand is the main subject here today. And, what we mainly want to draw in here is people trust people before they even touch or, tap into the business. So in today's world, you have to, really focus in on your presence as part of your business. Number one is why finders must be visible. Consumers, connect emotionally with people more than they do with the product. So if they have, a solid, um, I guess you could say storyline, telling method, they're authentic with how they, live their lifestyle. When they start to incorporate that product in their lifestyle, people resonate with it. People already see the core message behind what that person is already doing. That's why a lot of times when brands blow up, they blow up because they have a physical presence, say a celebrity that comes in, wears their product, aligns with the message behind the product and the brand. And it's that physical person that people can almost touch physically and see what everything actually means behind what they're doing. The next thing is, finding the founder visibility builds the trust. You know, personal brands increase, businesses opportunities when they actually have, that in place. A lot of brands, even smaller brands, are starting to do it with, the TikTok shop and being an affiliate of, different brands just in order to gain visibility, brand awareness behind what they're doing and trying to, collaborate in a sense with other brands by, putting their product out there. Um, you know, it's better to have a founder-led type company than to have a corporation full of different bodies and nobody really the face of it. You just mainly have a product as a face because nowadays people don't really have too much of an imagination and they really don't understand, um, stories because they're so, quick with their attention span. Um, you want to create that audience familiarity, whether it's creating shorter videos, having more information packed in, but in shorter and in detailed messaging. And then on top of that, you want to have a relationship driven type business where you're able to create different events for the community to tap into with your business and the products that you're putting out there align with, the community as well too. Number two is telling the story behind the business. The story creates an emotional investment with the customer. It almost starts to create that investment to where the customer feels like they're a part of every step that you're taking as an entrepreneur. The authenticity builds that loyalty. It builds that, that foundation that you need in order to not only scale your business, but to build a solid community to where people become consistent customers. Um, that transparency builds and strengthens the credibility of your brand. So every time that you put out a post, every time that you put out a product, every time you put out a new project or collection, they start to adapt, they start to relate, and they also buy once you put it out instead of taking time to actually digest each information. Um, the next thing is sharing your struggles, documenting the process. You know what I'm saying? Sharing each step of the journey so that way, like I said, customer feels and relates to you and the message behind the brand. Number 3 is visibility creates opportunity. Opportunities only come through exposure. You got to create that exposure for your brand, whether it's through paid ads, whether it's through high quality content that creates that organic engagement, or both. And it's got to be straight consistency, as I've said in all the episodes that I've put out. You know, when it comes to gaining that attention, because, like I said on the live stream earlier today, when you have consistency not only in how you put out content, but when you post the content. Say, even if you have a group of people that you have that's, say, liking your post, as soon as you put it out there, those people gotta like it immediately every time. Just so that way, each time that the new post comes out, it gains more viewers than the last post. That's how you start to gain that viral traction behind your post and your brand. Social media is leverage. A lot of people, continue to think of it as, what I'm saying, oh, I really don't need it. But in a sense, in the way the world is becoming way more and more digital, you need it, bro. And we all need it. It's just a matter of you got to be consistent as you are in your day-to-day actions on social media versus, what I'm saying, just posting it, when you feel like it. Like, it don't work like that. Everything works the same in a sense. If you put in the hard work, you take care of it. Like, what I'm saying? You take care of your house, and most of y'all probably don't even take care of your house good, so that was probably a bad example. But at the end of the day, if you take care of it like, cleanliness is next to godliness, and you actually pour that love into every piece of, I guess you could say, aspect of your business, then you're going to win. And it's going to start to develop those opportunities, those partnerships, and collaborations. Because, like I said, man, when you have people trusting you, it's going to do well for your business. So keep visualizing your purpose, put up a solid plan, start executing that motherfucker, and all your dreams and goals will start to come to fruition. Keep visualizing. I am out.
Thank you guys for watching another episode of A Lott of Fashion. We appreciate you guys for liking and subscribing and also staying tuned through the whole episode. Make sure that you take these business gems and start visualizing your purpose. I am out.